You all know I'm a fan of Donald Trump, the current president of the United States, because he's simply an embodiment of what does not kill you makes you stronger. These are candidates who broke all the rules. This is a president, when as candidate, broke all the political rules that would have finished and destroyed the careers of any traditional politician. But the more they attacked him for his bad behavior, the more he won. And this time he tapped on a group's emotion that no one else had managed to touch. No one else until then had managed to convince such a large number of young people, Gen Z and such, to come out and vote. But they came out and voted for him. That aside, he has launched tariffs against literally almost each and every other country in the world. Although, I don't see why countries are complaining. Europe itself has like 40% tariffs on American manufactured goods. Kenya charges 16% VAT on goods that come in from America. I mean, now he's only slapping them with a tariff of 10% when they export goods to the United States. And of course, this will be felt by the consumers. But I want us to see the long game. The long game that Trump is trying to play with his economy. And if it pays off, he will have managed to revive the greatest economy with the best purchasing power in the world. You'll ask me how, and I'll answer you. When he imposes these tariffs, in some countries it's very high, especially towards those countries who sell a lot to the United States. Now you have to understand the United States is not just any market that you can ignore. This is a market that has 326 million people, with a purchasing power so high more than any other country. The US economy in terms of capitalism does very well. If you manage to get your goods to the United States, you sell them at a price that you cannot sell in any other country. I was watching a documentary the other day. There is a company in China that is manufacturing cups or capes. 40% of their sales go to the United States. Another bike company, 60% of their sales go to the United States. Now, what you'll normally sell for $100 elsewhere, you can very well sell at 400-500 shillings in the United States. That is why this market is very lucrative. Now, for those who import a lot into the United States, if they are hit with a lot of tariffs and the people cannot buy their goods as usual, these people may be forced to set up factories in the United States itself. And if Trump implements the tax cuts that he's touting all along, this will work, and will work very well. Because if you set up these industries, it equals jobs. If it equals jobs, it's also equal taxes on a very big aspect, not just for the federal government, but also the state taxes. So if this pays off, if companies set up shop in America, if he reduces the cost of manufacturing in America and companies that sell in America are able to set up shop in America, this will be a game changer. He will change his economy totally. But this remains to be seen. Well, he's a business guy, and a shrewd one at that. But if he manages to pull this off, his people will thank him for decades. And especially now that he has chased most of the immigrants, that means there will be more jobs for them to take. So even if people are immigrating there for jobs, they will only get the low-skilled jobs. But all this remains to be seen, because the markets have to react in their own way to each and every prompt he makes. But if that is exactly what he's planning and it works, it will be epic. It will be changed like no other. Manufacturing will happen in the United States like no other, especially because he curtailed certain kind of policies from the Biden administration, stopped the shenanigans of electric cars, and brought back the fossil fuel cars. This may revive the American economy in a way that we have never seen. But if it fails, it will be his downfall. And people will never elect any outsider again. Any Washington outsider will never be elected to be the president of the United States. But if this works, they will never trust the politicians again.